Hello everyone. I am Dhruv Bindra, a DSC member of DSC PESIT and host for today's webinar on importance of developer community. I, on behalf of DSC PESIT, welcome all of you to the webinar. Our wonderful speaker, Meet Shah, has been incredibly focused on leading and growing student communities in the past 2 years. He is also a core team member of DSC PESIT and he has been instrumental in our success. Over to you, Meet.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. That was a great introduction. Didn't expect this much coming, but yeah, thank you so much again. Well, communities, it's like something I love, something I've always been looking forward to, and without it, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Like I'm still at the very beginning of my beginning stage of my success, but yeah, I would of my career as well. But communities has always been a great part of it. So yes, the webinar today will be on the importance of developer communities. Well, so the agenda would be well, what and why developer communities? So, first of all, I would like to know. I would give a brief about what is a developer community. Well, there are a lot of myths that are going around. Keep a developer community is all about a group of developers working on a project or a group of developers. It's all about developers and or do I need to know how to code and all of that. Well, I'm just going to break all the myths there. If you are interested in technology, if you are interested in doing a project or working on a product which helps the society through the means of technology, then boom, that's a developer community. If the developer community can be of 2 people or it can be of 2 lakh people. I've been a part of a community where they have only 20 people in the community. And apart from that, I've also been a community with around 20,000 members or 20 lakhs members as well. So, I'm going to break all those myths here. Then after that, I'll move on to some global developer communities that you should be a part of. Well, these are global developer communities which have been of great help. I'll just give you one. That Stack Overflow is one of our developer communities, and I'm going to talk about. Moving from there, as most of our audience is going to be student developers, college people, engineering students, I'm going to talk about global student developer community programs, which like consider the DSC. Well, DSC is a student developer community program by Google, right? And it has been of so much help to me and all of my colleagues here, right? So I'm going to talk about all of those student developer community programs that you should be a part of. Then after that, I'll move on to open source and global open source fellowship programs. Well, right now GSOC results came, right? So it's always a dream of a college engineering student to be a part of Google Summer of Code, right? So I'm going to talk about all of those open source fellowship programs other than GSOC as well, which I believe that you would be aware of, or if you're not aware of, you can get much more resources there. Then after knowing the importance and all the global community programs, I would give a brief about how to build a developer community. It's very important to how to know about how to get started. Well, I'll just talk about my experience on how I built my first developer community, and yes, then I will get started. And then we'll be having a small brief session on how to make a career out of communities. Well, I used to always talk with my whenever I used to talk about communities, I used to always be like, wait, is there any job positions available? What if can I make a career out of this in the next 5 years? Well, yes, you can. There are sort of a lot of global community engagement programs and jobs available. In, like, for example, my 2 greatest mentors, Nikhil Raichur and Arkodyuti Shah, right? They are the DevRel, that is developer relations at Google and Microsoft respectively, and I admire them. I want to be like them. So I'm just gonna talk about how you can be those people. How can you be those developer evangelists, developer advocates, developer relations, community managers, and all of those fancy job positions that are coming up, right? Right across the world. It's already been started in the US, and it's gonna boom. It's gonna resume here in India as well. Well, Bangalore has already started hiring community managers. Bangalore and Delhi as well, right? So, and last but not the least, we'll be having an e-networking session, more of a Q&A, where I always believe that in an offline meetup, the most important part of a community meetup is those networking sessions that we have. Those grab my chai wala session, or those I want to know about you, man. Can I get in touch with you? Those type of sessions where you really build relations, where you really get to know other person in the community, and then boom, you can have collaborations done, help out each other, and all of that stuff. So this will be our agenda for today. I know that you guys are super busy with your work or college projects or assignments, so I'll keep it very short. I'll try not taking much of your time, but this is going to be an interesting ride for an adventure to the community. So let's get started. Okay, so what is a developer community? I'll just say what Google says. Well, Google says a developer community is generally defined as a group of developers gathered in a place to achieve a common goal. Well, this is like too much fancy definition, I would say. What I would believe is, if me and you, we share the same mindset, if we share the same goal, we can collaborate, work on it, and make it a product. That's what like-minded people coming together who believe to do something good for the society through the means of technology. Or even if you are a technology enthusiast, and if I am a technology enthusiast, come on, let's just collaborate. Let's just work together and make this developer community. Let's help out each other. Well, it's always good to give it back to the community, right? So that's what so if you want to know what's a developer community, if you have ever helped someone on a developer project, or if you are a part of a community project, then boom, you're in a developer community, yeah, right? So I would say like-minded people coming together to achieve a common goal, that's a developer community, right? Cool. Next, this is the main topic, right? Why communities? Why should I have communities? People keep saying that, okay, I'm a part of this community, or I have started this community in my college, or I've started this community that's a global chapter, all of that stuff. Why communities? Why do people start communities? Why should I build one, right? Well, I'll just give a brief explanation. If you can see those three logos, it's very pretty much clear. If I'm a computer science and engineering student, these are the dream companies I would love to work in, right? Well, GitHub. If you all know, GitHub is it's the biggest developer community collaboration project, a platform, right? Which it's now a platform. What was it before? You know how it started? GitHub started as two developers wanted to work on a common project, but they stayed very different. So they built a platform where they can collaborate, work on a single-handed project, and that's how GitHub started. It was so good that Microsoft eventually took over GitHub, right? But GitHub was a developer community in the start, and then it turned to what it is right now. LinkedIn. Well, when Facebook came out, there was always this thing like, okay, what about business people? What about professionals? What about I want a place where I can talk to all the professionals, where I can get hired, where I can get to know what people are in my same streams, right? So that's how LinkedIn came about. LinkedIn was a professional community. LinkedIn was a community of professionals who wanted to discuss about a common mindset or a common business. That's how LinkedIn got started. And now it's one of the Fortune 500 companies that IT people die to work for, right? So this is how LinkedIn started. LinkedIn also started as a professional community. And last one is MLH. So I work as a MLH Summer League mentor at Major League Hacking. Now, what do I do as a MLH Summer League mentor is I mentor at hackathons. Right now, due to COVID-19, it's virtual. So in the weekends, we have Discord server going on where participants post their doubt, and our job is to just help them out if we can. So now I just tell you about how MLH started. It started as a hacking community. So a bunch of college students, they decided that, okay, we want to help student developers at hackathons, and they started a hacking community in the US. And from there, it's right now the biggest hacking platform or the biggest company that supports hackathons worldwide. And I'm proud being a part of Major League Hacking. So if someone asks why communities, I just give them this three companies example. That GitHub was a developer community, LinkedIn was a professional community, and Major League Hacking was a hacking community. So three different areas of business and industry, but they all started as communities. So yes, you never grow alone, but always with a community. Okay. Why developer communities? Why should I build a developer community? So I'll just give you a brief about why developer communities. So have you ever worked on a project with your friend? Yes, I have. I have worked on a project with my friend, right? And this is how. So I got to know how to peer-to-peer learning. Like anytime I work on a project with bunch of my friends, I collaborate with them. I share my knowledge and they share their knowledge, and I get to know a lot of stuff. So that's what developer communities gives me. Like when I started TechWords, I didn't know any of the tech stuff. Honestly speaking, I didn't know anything. But then it got started, and from I got to know a lot about AR, VR through the Pixel community. I got to know about machine learning through Predict This, a machine learning club, and then I got into DSC and all of those machine learning workshops that DSC PESIT conducted. It all came through by attending those, by being a part of that community. So peer-to-peer learning and collaboration projects, best one. That's one of the reasons you should be a part of a developer community. Second, sharing knowledge. Okay, so consider this case. You know something and your friend doesn't, and there are a lot of friends that doesn't know about it, and one of these communities tells you that, can you please help out my friends here, because we are not much aware of it. I would love if you, as an expertise, would talk about it. Well, as a college engineering student, if someone tells you that, okay, you're an expertise in this, boom, that's a big thing, right? So you get to share what knowledge you have. You get to share all your resources. You get to share your journey. That's very important in the current phase, right? You get a platform to share your journey. You get to share your experience and all of that stuff. You get to talk about it. That's very rare. And I'm thankful to DSC PESIT for giving me this opportunity as well. So yes, that's one of the reasons to share your knowledge at developer communities. Next, we have mentorship opportunities. Well, if you heard about Google Coding, it's about school students, right? But they get mentored by college engineering students, which Google pays them. Google pays college engineering students to go and mentor school students to help them get started with coding. Now, what is this? What are those college engineering students there? They are mentors. So, first of all, as a college student, you can be a mentor. Myself, I'm a mentor at Major League Hacking, right? So, age doesn't matter, first of all. Secondary, you get to work with a lot of mentors. Like, for example, if you're a part of Google Summer of Code as a participant, and if you get in, you get to work with a lot of mentors all around the globe, and that's really amazing. GSOC is also an open source community, and then from there to the journey till now, wow! Like, you can be a mentor, you can mentor other people, and you can get mentors. That's all. This can happen at a developer community. So yes, mentorship opportunities very important, right? So that's one of the reasons why you should join a developer community, or why you should build one developer community. Brainstorming discussions. Well, honestly speaking, when I was first invited, okay, at my first community meetup, we used to debate a lot. I used to be like, why should I build one? Why should I waste such a lot of amount of time of my college life? I can just enjoy, or I can just work on my project alone. But then when we have those brainstorming discussions, there are a lot of stuff that we didn't knew, that I personally didn't know. And from there, I got to know a lot of stuff. And then I used those resources, I used those brainstorming discussions in my projects. And that's how you build, right? You go and talk to people, you get to know that what they have done, what approach did they use. For example, I'll just take a basic example. I was coding on Code Forces, and I didn't know. So I joined this coding community online, and I just put that I have used this and this approach. I don't know how to go about it ahead because it's showing time complexity error. And one of the person replied that, okay, because you have used this one, that's why it is not going. Its complexity is O of n square. You probably should use O of n wala method. And boom, I got my answer. So that's how developer discussions are handful. Like, they're very much valuable. Trust me, discussions are the most underrated, but the most valuable things right now in this space. Like, if you're a part of a developer community, have those and you have those brainstorming discussions, it's really helpful. And last but not the least, network and meet like-minded people. So I'll just share a small story here. So I was being invited at my first community meetup in November 2018. I got a random LinkedIn invite through my mentor, that is Paras Pundir. So he was heading the Bangalore Facebook Community Leadership Circle Bangalore chapter. And I just randomly texted 2 months back that I'm interested in communities and all of that stuff. So he just randomly invited me, and alongside me, he invited 300 people who are community enthusiasts. So when I went there, everyone knew Paras, but no one knew each other. There, I got to know a lot of people who I am still connected with, and we are collaborating on a lot of stuff. Like, I got to know the community manager of ProGate. I got to know about Skillenza's community manager and how those people work. I got to know about how Microsoft works on developer advocacy, and all of that stuff at one single meetup. Trust me, one single meetup. So you get to meet a lot of people at those community meetups, both online and offline now. And you get to learn a lot. And being a college, I was the youngest there. So being a college student, it was all like, I'm just grabbing everything. I just want to know everything. And it was so amazing for me that I can't even describe. And since that, my community journey started, and it's been a great one. So yes, you can meet a lot of like-minded people. You can meet a lot of people who are all community enthusiasts like you, and you get to learn how to collaborate, work collaboratively, and all of that stuff. So that's a great chance. Communities provide a great place. So I hope that now you've got a bit of an interest of joining developer communities or building one. Well, my future slides would help you more. I have a great valuable content coming up next. Okay. Now this is for all the college student developers or any developer who are here. This is like the most informative slide that I researched, and I've kept it here. So So these are all the global developer communities that you should be a part of. Now I'll just give you a bit one line explanation of what they do. So for all the women who love to code and who are into technology stuff, women who code is the community for you. It's the world's biggest women in tech community, and it's growing worldwide. And they have chapters in India as well. So you can just go search women who code, and the first link is yours. So women who code is one of the greatest women in tech community that every girl or a woman should be a part of, I believe. Hashnode. So if you're interested in writing doing anything regarding tech stuff, Hashnode is the community for you, because they help you work on collaborative projects. They help you write technical articles. They help you publish your blogs. They help you compete. They even give you job challenges. I don't know what is left if I'm a computer science student. So Hashnode is also one of the greatest developer communities till date, I believe. Free Code Camp. Now this is one interesting one. They started as an NGO where they wanted to teach people who doesn't have access to computers. From there, they started to teaching people for free. They used to help people on how to code and all of that stuff. And now it's a NGO turned community who believes in helping people for free. They teach free. Every course available on Free Code Camp is free. They always emphasize on community because it was a community of social people, of people who wanted to help society. And from there, they are here. They are one of the biggest communities, coding communities as well. Stack Overflow, my favorite. Like without Stack Overflow, I can't even imagine that I could ever debug my code for sure. So it's just a programming question and answer for me. Any doubt I have, Control C error, Control V on Stack Overflow, boom, I get my answer, man. That's so amazing. Like Stack Overflow is so amazing. Like it's like the lifeline for a developer, right? So Stack Overflow is also a programming Q&A community. If you Google it, you'll always say Stack Overflow is not a company, but it's a community first. Even GitHub says it's a community first. I love when big Fortune 500 companies say that. Well, HackerNoon. HackerNoon is basically a similar community to Hashnode, where you get a chance to work on projects and publish your technical articles and all of that stuff. SitePoint. So for all the web developers watching this webinar, SitePoint is the community for you. They have a lot to discuss about web dev, front end, back end, importance of React right now. Do I use AngularJS or not? Which React JS library should I use? And how do I complete my? How do I integrate my machine learning model with web dev? Anything related to web dev, you can have. We also have W3 schools, 3 schools doing the same as well. Kaggle. In this era of data science, machine learning being the industrial revolution for the world, Kaggle is a community. It's not a company. Even Kaggle says that Kaggle is a data science community which started to work on data science projects. It got scaled up, and it's now where it is. Kaggle is a data science community. So if you are a data scientist, or if you are into machine learning, data science, neural nets, AI, anything, Kaggle is a community for you. Indie hackers. Well, this is something very interesting. So for all the entrepreneurial developers here, if you want to know how to generate revenue from your from the projects that you build, Indie hackers is a community for you, because they give you a chance to publish your project and then generate revenue from there. So Indie hackers is a great community. Code Newbie. So for all the people who are new here, new to programming, new to coding, who have no idea about how it works, how coding works, or all the people here, it's never too late. It's never too late to start learning how to code, because in the next era, it's all about coding and programming, right? It's all about technology. It's all about digitization. So to learn how to start to code Newbie is a community. This is an interesting one, because it started as a Twitter chat where a bunch of people in a Twitter group, they were discussing on how they can help each other, because they were all new to coding and programming. Since then, they started this community of 4 people, which is now more than 40,000 people actively contributing on Code Newbie. So Code Newbie is the community for people who are new to coding. Reddit. Well, Reddit is like, I'll say it's a semi-developer community, but it's a great forum platform. Like if you ever want to host your online community discussions, Reddit is the thing, because you can have Reddits, you can have subreddits and all of that, community channels and all of that stuff. Forum ke liye Reddit is the best. I believe Reddit is the best. Facebook developer circles and Google developer groups. So this Fortune 500 company like Facebook and Google, they decided to help developers, and by organizing those developer circles and developer groups. So I myself am a part of Facebook developer circle Bangalore chapter and GDG Bangalore as well. And we DSC we developer student clubs are highly supported by the Google developer groups. So they have this online meetups, hands-on sessions, and all of that stuff, and it's amazing. Trust me, it's amazing. You can learn how to code. You can learn. They have this Flutter. Like recently, I went to this GDG online meetup on Flutter, and it was amazing. I built my own first. I built my first app on Flutter. It was basic Hello World, but it was so interesting that I just went on there. Okay, I can build new ones as well, right? Okay. Daily UI. Now, for all the people who are interested in UI UX, where user interface and all of that stuff, daily UI is a community for you. They from learning how to do it on Adobe to integrating it with Flutter, daily UI does everything for you. Like it helps you around everywhere. You can find all the UI UX designers, developers on daily UI. So if you are a UI UX developer, go join daily UI and get your skills scaled up. And last but not the least, and I'll say the support hand for all the people preparing for placements, Geeks for Geeks, right? Because everyone preparing for placements does the Geeks for Geeks course, right? And practices on Geeks for Geeks. So yeah, Geeks for Geeks started as a coding community. It started as people who wanted to learn data structures and algorithms, and from there it got scaled up to where it is right now. It's one of the largest coding community of India, and I hope it's growing. I believe it's going to grow much more higher. So these are all the global developer communities that you should be a part of. And yep, I believe all the resources are being shared in the description below. So you can go after this webinar gets over, you can check them out. Okay. Coming up next is the global student developer community programs. So now many of you are college students or just 12th pass students, right? Who are just going to get into colleges, or who are just going to get or who are a part of an engineering college or any college. Well, these are the global student developer community programs. Okay. First of all, developer student clubs. Well, yes, we are on developer student clubs at PESIT. So I believe I don't need to tell you much about that, but I'll just give you a brief that developer student clubs is a program run by Google to get students, specifically computer science engineering students, to get into to get started with software and to help them deep dive into software development. And DSC provides a lot of resources and a lot of mentors and it's amazing. DSC is one of the biggest student developer community programs running worldwide. Coming up next is Microsoft Student Partners. They started 2 years back, and they are now around more. There are more than around 4,000 student partners worldwide, and it's one of the largest student developer community growing around. It's based. The headquarters are based in the US, but they are very important. Like the meetups that they organize and the resources that they give it to the students are amazing. Are really amazing. And those Microsoft team calls that they organize, wow! I just say wow every time I look at MSP. GitHub Campus Experts. So if you're an open source contributor, actively contributing on GitHub, and want to know and want to get more deep dive into GitHub and all of that stuff, GitHub Campus Expert is for you. Like, they provide resources, they help you give a stance, and GitHub Campus Experts are highly recognized. Like, they are very selective on selecting the computer science students. So if you get into GitHub Campus Expert, means you're very valuable. Trust me. Next is Mozilla Reps. So Mozilla is one of the largest open source community. I'll not say it's a web browser or anything else. It's the largest open source community. Well, Linux is the heart. I love Linux. Like, any developer loves Linux, right? And Mozilla has a lot of contribution in getting Linux where it is. So if you love contributing to open source, then be a Mozilla student rep. You can just scale up to a chapter lead as well. And trust me, they provide a lot of resources, and there are even stipends for chapter leads as well. So you can just check out Mozilla student reps. AWS Educate Cloud Ambassadors. Now, similar to Microsoft and Google, even Amazon thought that how about they scale up their cloud technology and they want students to learn more about AWS, because most of the companies right now either use GCP or they use Azure or they use AWS, right? So they want the students to know about this cloud technologies coming up, and AWS is one of the biggest cloud platforms, and they empower students by giving their resources, by sharing their meetups, by giving access to mentorship programs, and also they have this amazing set of people who I'll say amazing set of AWS advocates who help students on a regular basis. So if you are into AWS, then if you want to know more about AWS, then be a AWS Educate Cloud Ambassador. And last but not the least is the Intel Software Innovator. if you are a software developer, or if you are interested in getting into software development, or if you want to be a part of this Fortune 500 companies being a software developer, Intel Software Innovator is a program for you, because they give you this 3 months access where you have to build a project, work on projects of Intel, and you get mentored by a lot of people working at Intel, and not only Intel, all the other Fortune 500 companies as well. So that's how Intel works, and Intel Software Innovator is a great student developer community program. So these are all the 6 student developer community programs. The most preferred one. There are others as well. Like for example, we have ACM student chapters running around. We have IEEE student chapters running around. We also have something called as a Skillenza Hustle community running around. We have Geeks for Geeks campus ambassadors. We have Hacker Earth campus ambassadors. So if you are a college student, there are 1,000 opportunities for you, because every big company is targeting you. Every big company wants to empower you. So if you're a college student who wants to get into developer communities, or who wants to be a software developer, don't worry. There are a lot of resources, and not only software developers. If you have the skill to marketize, or if you have the skill to promote those companies, then boom, it's for you. You don't need to have a software background. If even, like, for example, MSP's program, partner program, is also run at some at some non-IT companies, non-IT colleges as well. Like, it's run at some MBA colleges as well. So it's not only limited to software developers as well. So if you just have an enthusiasm for tech, and if you have the skill to promote their brands, then also you can be a part of them. So for all the marketers in the house, don't worry, we got all for you. Next, this is like open source. So ever contributed on GitHub? Ever like ever asked for a pull ever did a pull request on GitHub? Yes, I have. And did you know that this is skill, right? You can just keep doing this open source contributions and get into this fellowship and internship program. These are all open source communities. Like, first of all, I talk about Google Summer of Code. So every student developer, I'll say, wants to be a part of Google Summer of Code. If you're an open source enthusiast, if you want to work on projects, get mentored by the best, GSOC is for you, right? Similar to GSOC, we have something called as MLH Fellowship. Like, I'm a part of Major League Hacking, so we'll just tell you a bit about it. So MLH Fellowship is a fellowship program to get not only student developers, but also software developers with an experience of 1 or 2 years to contribute to open source, and they get paid as well. So you get a ransom amount of $600 to $1,000 as stipends if you work great at the organization. The difference between both of them is, like, GSOC, you need to select the applicant need to select an organization by their own self. Like, they have to give a proposal, and if the organization loves it, then they'll take it. In MLH, it's the reverse. You get to work on a lot of organization projects. Like, if you get selected, seeing your resume, they help you give a bunch of projects that you have to work on in monthly basis. So, and it's the application for MLH fellowship is still on. It's going to close on 24th, if I'm not wrong, 24th of May. So if you haven't applied for MLH fellowship, then please do apply. Coming up next is Girl Script Summer of Code. So for all the women in tech enthusiasts, Girl Script Foundation India is one of the biggest women in tech communities based in India as of now. And it's run by Miss Anubha, if I'm not wrong. She's a 24-year-old and DevRel enthusiast, developer, and who believe that she can achieve what other people cannot achieve as well. So she started as a developer community, and now it's a Girl Script Foundation who have a lot of programs like Girl Script Summer of Code, and they have some scholarships and fellowship programs as well. So if you want a summer internship or a fellowship and want to contribute on open source projects, Girl Script Summer of Code is for you. Okay, to mention, Girl Script Summer of Code is not only limited to girls. Like, even guys can apply there. They have used Girl Script Summer of Code to empower women. That's it. So so even it's not like only women are allowed to participate or something like that. Coming up next is for all the technical writers in the house who are watching this webinar. Google Season of Docs is for you. So Google Season of Docs is something to empower the emphasis on documentation. They want people to have more, to focus on technical writing, to focus on documentation, because documentation is very important that we fellow college students, we always ignore. Like, I'm just going to be like, okay, I have pushed the code down, I'm not going to do anything else. But that's not the real way. When you go work on a software company, they tell you to document each and everything. Even if you have mentioned a comment in the code, they tell you why did you mention that comment in the code. And that's the importance that they give to documentation. So if you are a technical writer who loves writing technical blogs and all of that stuff, and loves documenting tech stuff, then Google Season of Docs is for you. Today's Girls Summer of Code is again for people who are interested in Ruby and Rails and wants to contribute on all those Ruby and Rails projects, Rails Girl Summer of Code is for you. Outreachy is another open source fellowship program that is run by Outreachy, and then it's similar to contributing on open source projects. So why do I emphasis on more on open source projects is because they're all open source. They all wants to contribute. They all believe in contributing to the society, and they like it's very handy. Open source communities are the best for me because they've always helped me. Be it any open source community. It helps developers to get to know a lot of stuff. So join any of this open source fellowship and internship programs, and if you have passed the application deadline, then don't worry. You just start contributing from now on, and boom, these applications will get started again in the next semester. So you can get it. You can prepare until then. So these were all the open source fellowship and internship programs. Okay. Now I believe that you have a bit more sense and a bit more enthusiasm to learn or to know more about developer communities. Now I'm just going to tell you a bit about how to build a developer community. See, before we believe, like me, my co-founders and my team, when we built our first developer community, I read some DevRel blogs, and I had no clue because I thought it's all about experience. It's all about the passion that I have for dev communities, and nothing more than that can help me out other than my own passion, right? So I'm just going to share a small story about how I built my first developer community, so that even because if you haven't built it yet, then this I was the same like you. So basically on 1st of October, my co-founder Dhruv, he got a brilliant idea of integrating tech stuff. So he thought that why not we have a community of specialized technical communities where we can have where we can have brainstorming discussions done. Like he thought that we can have people working on projects. Like we had people working on AR/VR projects, machine learning projects, and there was an already existing Android club being run that is on Create. So machine learning, and apart from that, we also had coding people. So like the people who do competitive coding. So Dhruv thought, how about we integrate all of them and build a tech community from there? So I was amazed by this idea. So we took this and we went to our 8 other founders, and we just pitched our idea that, okay, this is what we have got, or this is what our idea is, and are you guys interested? And they're like, okay, we'll have a discussion. So when you see the first image there, where we were doing some discussions there, where we were like, okay, the one I'm pointing it at. So where we were like, okay, why do we need a developer community? So we did some brainstorming discussions and all of that stuff. And then after getting a sense of, okay, this is needed, this is going to be a real help for college students, we decided, okay, we're going to build this one. So the name TechWatts, that's how coming from Hogwarts. I know that sounds funny, but that was given by one of our community lead, that is Anmol. He was leading the competitive coding community, and he gave this name that about, okay, similar to Hogwarts, we'll have House of Tech. That's TechWatts. And I was amazed. I was like, okay, this is growing. So we did our first we launched our community on 12th of October 2018. We had 10 people running. Okay, we started with 10 people. From there, we took sessions where they used to teach about all of that stuff. So this picture is from the Pixel community, where they used to teach how to build AR applications and all of that stuff, where college students used to come and attend. So we also had sessions. We also had time where we had only one person attending our sessions. But yes, again, we don't give up. Our main aim was to empower college students to get into tech and nothing else. We didn't think of numbers. We didn't think of anything else. And then once we started something called as TechWatts Leadership Circle, where we all community people we used to get together, and we should discuss about how we should scale this community, how we should monetize all of these communities and all of that stuff. And the picture that you see is from the start of the 5th semester, like that is July or August 2019, I guess, where we had more than 453 people attending our sessions. So it scaled from 10 to 453 in around 1.5 years. So I believe that's a great achievement for me and my team as well. And that's how I built my developer community, my very first developer community, where we just brainstorm on why we need it. Then we got started, and then we launched it. We did what we always wanted to do: meetups, events, codathons, datathons, competitions, and all of that stuff. And then I got to meet a lot of people. And trust me, I always say that I'm thankful for TechWatts and the team for existing, because of TechWatts. So This is how I built my first developer community. And yep, so this is how it is. And trust me, you don't need some 100 people to start with, or you don't need anyone. If you have one developer alongside you, or if you have one tech enthusiast alongside you who wants to bring a change in the society, who wants to help developers, then nothing else is needed. All you need is passion and love for communities, and boom, you're gonna start it. And trust me, numbers don't matter. It doesn't matter. So this is how I built my first developer community, and I'm thankful for everyone. I'm thankful for DSC PESIT for giving me this opportunity to share my journey on how I built my first developer community. And trust me, Tech was one of the reasons why I got into the developer student clubs at PESIT by Google. So it always helps. Community always helps. It because you never grow alone, but always with the community, right? So yeah, this was how I built my first developer community. And since then, it's been 2 years. It's been almost 2 years now, and now I'm thinking of making a career out of my communities. So I was researching, and as I mentioned in the very start, that my two idols, my two DevRel idols, I will always say, Mr. Nikhil Raichur and Mr. Arko Duty Saha. I see them and I admire. So I just thought about how to research. How do I also want to work like they are working. I also want to be a DevRel. I also want to be this developer evangelist, developer advocacy, or developer community manager. But what are these? What do these people do? Are those people marketers? Are those people developers? Are those people product managers? No. I'm just going to ask you two questions. Are you the person who wants to help developers? Yes. Are you the one who wants more and more developers to work on projects and help society become a better place? Yes. Are you the person who wants to empower developers? Yes. Then boom, these are the career opportunities for you. Developer relations. I'll first talk about developer, the rest of three, and I have a DevRel if you want to get started. So developer community managers, what they do is they manage developer communities. Developer evangelist in a company, what they do is, so basically, if you see developer community managers, so if you see MI community, it's being if you see the MI customer community, it's all run by a developer community manager at MI. If you want to know about developer evangelist and advocacy, it all means to evangelize technology, evangelize developers, meaning keep you come up with those opportunities that developers are benefited, that developers are helpful. And the next one is my favorite one. I talked about DevRel, right? All you need these three C's to remember to run a successful developer community. Just three, or if you want to have a DevRel career: code, content, and communities. Be a coder. Like it's not like all your job is to just promote communities and promote or manage all of that stuff. To know what a developer is doing, you should have a sense that okay, this is what a developer is doing, and you should know the explanation of this content. That okay, I get it. This is how it is going. This is what he's talking about. If in a hackathon, if someone tells you to mentor, you should not be like, okay, I don't understand this machine learning project or something. You should just have a basic understanding of how it works. You should know whom to pick up the right next mentor as to help the developer. So that's how coding helps. Content is the key. Trust me. If you can publish those DevRel blogs, or if you can publish your technical blogs, then and if you can write properly, it becomes very much easier for you to express what your passion for communities. And last but not the least, in the very important community. So after doing the code and after publishing the content, all you need to just do is go have a meetup, ask and get feedbacks. Just tell what I published. Can you just tell me how it is going, or how it is looking, and something like that, and you will get your honest feedback. Improvise, coming up next with another event. That's how it is, right? So yes, always remember 3 C's to successfully run a developer community: code, content, communities. And yep. So code and connect with me on LinkedIn. Well, I've made a bit.ly link there, bit.ly/meet LinkedIn. You'll be directed to my LinkedIn profile. I'm available on GitHub as meet1906. So github.com/meet1906. You can connect with me there. Instagram, you can always follow me on Instagram at meet1906, and Twitter. I'm usually active on Twitter and LinkedIn as well as meet19061999. I'm a super Twitter fan. So anything I do, I'll put it. And yes, thank you so much, developer student clubs, for letting me be a part of it. It's almost 1.5 years now, and I'm looking forward to have one more year with DSC PESIT. But remember one thing, okay? Your network is your net worth. My idol always used to tell me that your network is your net worth. The amount of network and collaborations you have will decide your net worth in the future. So yes, your network is your net worth, and Yep. Any, just shoot it up here and I'll try answering all of them. And thank you so much, Dhruv, for being this amazing host till now. I hope I didn't bore all of you here, or I hope I shared some valuable content that would be of help. So, any questions we have? Guys, okay, Meet, whom do you look up to in the DevRel field? So, Karthik, as I mentioned, in the DevRel field, my two amazing mentors, Nikhil Raichur and Arpajyoti Saha, they are the DevRel for Google India and Microsoft. So, they are basically they work as DevRel at Google. So, they are my idols. So Arkadyuti Saha is DevRel India from Microsoft. He's the only DevRel India from Microsoft. And Nikhil, he manages the DSC India community, and he's amazing. Like I used to have those 2 minutes, 3 minutes conversations after we met at PES University last year during CloudFest, and those were so helpful for me. Like I was amazed. I just loved what he told, that your network is your network. He told me, and those 3 C's wala funda, that's Arkadyuti's line. So I admire them, and I'm thankful for having these idols, and I'm thankful for Bangalore for existing there. Yeah. Any more questions? Guys, come on, feel free to ask a question. It's a community. It's all about how much you ask, how much you get to know, or at least a feedback. Come on, how was it? Was it a good one? Was it a 5 to 6 word spending? Got to know Meet by joining my college communities for the win. Thank you so much, Joe. He's an amazing person. I started working with him when I got to know him in TechWards. Then we got connected in DSC. Now we both are working as interns in the same company. So that's the power of communities. That's how we, and not to mention, he also won the datathon through communities. So yeah, strength of people, power of communities. Wow. Meet, who is your biggest mentor? I would say I always say my mom is my biggest mentor, because she was the one who empowered me to go to Bangalore and explore myself. And I believe she has always been my biggest mentor. And apart from that, in the tech field, I believe that in the tech field, as I mentioned, Paras Pundir, and is my community mentor. He's been amazing. His dialogue saying that hashtag Rukna to hai hi nahi has always empowered me. My mom and Paras has been the two greatest mentors of my life. How was your experience co-founding TechWards? It was a great one. The host who's here, Dhruv, we were the co-founders, and it's always tears getting in eyes thing, because when we thought that we would give up, it always got scaled up. It was like we even had meetups where no one came, but we still used to waiting till 5 o'clock in the evening that koi aayega, and if no one used to come, we used to teach each other. Okay, आज हमने ये पढ़ा है, आज हमने ये पढ़ा है. And I'm thankful for all of them, because be it Anmol or Preet, who were there even with one person, be it Nikhil Prakhar and Harris, who were there when no one came. All the machine learning folks, Kaushik, Mohib, and all of them. I'm so thankful for all of them. And this is just a thankful post for all the TechWards team and all the DSC team. I admire what Aniruddha and Adish has done in my life. Like, they have been such great leaders, helping me out everywhere. So, and DSC has been a great part of it. And from we started from TechWards, and then we came up to starting a ACM student chapter, where out of the 8 co-founders, 7 co-founders were from TechWards, and we had our chair Ankit. It was also amazing. He has also been a great leader. So I got to meet a lot of people through communities. It's always been through communities. Okay. Any more questions? This was really helpful. Thank you, Meet. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it. Feel free to shoot your feedbacks, guys. And I'm thankful for Karthik and Dhruv and Aniruddha for giving me this opportunity to express my love and passion for communities. And for everyone who has been a part of this journey, a lot of things awaits. Any tips for a new community builder? I would just say, remember that numbers are not the keys. All you have to do is focus on why did you start it. Focus on that. If you have something, if you have your motive clear, if you have your why clear, then you don't need to worry about numbers or how many people coming up or participating. It's all gonna be okay. Everything is gonna work out. So even if you have 3 people, but those 3 people have the same love and passion for community, and they want to give it back to the community, boom, it's a great community to be a part of. Trust me. So I would just say get your why, get your doubts, get your concept clear on why you're going to start this community, and then yes, get started. Meet regularly, online, offline, virtual meetup. Have the stalking being done. Don't be like, "Hey, aaj ek meetup ki," and then after 6 months you're going to do a meetup. Meet regularly, even if it is a small scale meetup. Meet daily. Any tips for stage fear? I would just say don't think what others are going to think. Just don't think that. Just go there, express yourself, because you are here to share your content. How it is being perceived by the audience, it's afterwards. It's gonna be taken after it's done, right? Your feedbacks are gonna come after. Are gonna come for this session after the session is getting over. So right now I'm just gonna express my content, the content that I have, that I want to share. My motive here is to just share my content and nothing else. I don't know if how is this going, but yeah, I just have in this mind get okay. I'm here to share all the valuable content and give it back to the community. And afterwards, we'll see how it went, how it didn't go, and then improve, and then just improve on that. Take it constructive criticism, take it, note it, improve it, and then yes, next meetup. That's all. रुकना तो है ही नहीं. Yeah, next. Any more questions?
Meet, one question from my side.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you deal with people who don't contribute to the community actively?
That's a very important question. We have an experience of doing that, right? So I would just say don't worry about the people who are not contributing. If you have one person contributing, yes, just tell them that. Just go to that person, tell that person that, buddy, you are a valuable person of this community. Don't worry about the negatives, just focus on the positives, because when they see you contributing and getting uplifted or scaling up or having a growth in your career, they eventually will start contributing. Like when we started TechWatch, we didn't have people who were this active or who had love for college clubs, right? But after we grew a bit, like when we got those 453 members in one seminar hall, the crowd going crazy at 3:30 in the college. That's when it all started, right? So it is always going to work out. So focus on the people who are be positive. Focus on the people who are working, and not on the people who are not contributing. Because my mentor says that. Paras always tells me that you don't have to worry about the people who are not contributing. Be proud of what you are doing. That's it. Otherwise, karma hai na. Things will work out. It's never going to be vain. Like if you just don't have to be कि ये करने के लिए मुझे it should not be in your backhand कि मेरे resume के लिए या फिर anything. It should all be like helping out people. I have this sole approach कि I want to help developers. That's it. Now if how it workouts with me on my career, that's a different thing. But right now it's going good, so I believe that it always works out. Thank you so much. And I just my parents are watching the whole webinar outside. My family is watching it, and I'm so thankful for DSC to again organize this thing. So yeah, that's one of the great emotional moments for me right now, because it's my first talk. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's my family. Okay, any more questions? DevRel communities, anything? True.
Thank you, Meet. Thank you, Meet, for this wonderful webinar, Meet. We are so proud that we are able to connect with you. Thank you, Meet. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for joining us. Yeah, Meet, over to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Aniruddha. Thank you so much, Karthik. Thank you so much, the whole DSC PESIT team. Thank you so much, Google Devs. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to every developer or every person who is helping other developers here. So do like and subscribe this video, and yeah, do subscribe to Google Developer Student Clubs, because we have we have a webinar series being lined up where we're going to talk more about freelancing, and we're going to talk about machine learning and all of that stuff. So we have a great webinar series lined up. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go follow DSC PESIT on Instagram, LinkedIn as well, where to stay connected. Yes, stay home, stay connected. Code and connect with me over all of these Instagram handles, all of my social media handles. Looking forward to connecting with you all. Thank you so much.